Hi everyone, this is Jamie Castillo and this is my video response for week 6. I'm going over technology usage. So how can you find a healthy balance between engaging with available technology and staying connected to real life experiences? I'm assuming that question is going to be directly related to like social media, but I would like to use it in the sense of how I use it for work. So for me, I work at the YMCA, and so for us, in the sense of working and social media and different types of technology we need for swimming, um, it's great. I use emails, phone calls, and texting to communicate with parents. To communicate with children, I go through their parents, obviously. I also, for our Y facility, we use Instagram and Facebook to post different events, to show like real-time activities. For example, we had a champion swim meet. My aquatics director came out. He took a couple of videos and a couple of the um, boomerang shots of our swimmers. And so it was really cool because he was posting them as the swim meet was going on, and it's letting the Fullerton YMCA community, specifically, kind of know what our facility is doing. So that's really cool because people see us practice, but they don't know what we do outside. They don't know the purpose of our practice, and the purpose is to go to these swim meets to win competitions. Um, so I feel like in a healthy balance, you're utilizing it to do better. Like you're usually utilizing it to do good. For myself in my real life experiences with social media, I recently, for Lent, I gave up all social media for Lent, and not because I'm always on it, because I really wasn't. I don't really post anything. I'm what do they call those people where they just look through all the feeds. They'll like everything, but they never post anything themselves. So you'll just randomly get a like from me, but you never see me post anything. That's how I was. So that was both on Facebook and Instagram, and I hardly use LinkedIn. I'm getting better at it because I feel like it does help me find different jobs and different internship opportunities. But as far as Snapchat, I rarely ever use it. I might go on it because I see that because I might want the geo tracker thing that comes up where it's like you're at the Irvine Spectrum. But that's it. I do try to limit myself. My boyfriend does not use social media at all. He does use emails for work. Other than that, he's pretty limited just to texting. He doesn't like to be on his phone because his philosophy is, I'm already on the computer all day long, every single day. I don't want to be in front of it anymore when I come home. So our conversations usually happen in person, or we do very simple conversations via text message. So that's that part. How do your values and ethics impact the way you engage online? So if you would have asked me this question about a year ago, Facebook, especially, because of all the different political divisions, and religious divides, I wouldn't post anything, but I would comment on my friends and my family's Facebook pages, especially if I thought something was wrong. So I have a really bad habit of voicing my opinion when my opinion's not wanted or needed, and letting somebody know that I don't think that they're right. And I try to step back from this idea. I try to pull myself away from it because I was getting angry. I was going on Facebook and I was getting mad at all of my family, all of my friends, and then I just eventually just started taking them off my Facebook because I didn't want to see what they had to say. So my values and my ethics, I took a step back. I did my whole Lent where I gave everything up, and I realized I didn't want to be a part of that. In that environment, I was constantly being angry. I was getting upset. I was arguing with people over things that didn't really need to be argued about. So I was like, that's not what matters to me. I need to be understanding of others. It was really hard for me to do, but it was easy at the same time. I was very quick to let it go, but it was hard for me not to go back onto Facebook and not be the same way. So my values, you need to be kind, you need to be understanding, and just like this class, we're being that's pretty much like our set point for this whole class is voicing our opinions, and we're not always going to agree with each other. In many cases, we're disagreeing. We have different viewpoints. We have different understandings. So I had built that up prior to coming into this class. What boundaries or limits do you put on your social media usage? An iOS battery. So I did use this. It's saying our experience using the iOS battery usage feature. I did use this when I decided to give up Facebook and social media during Lent, because I was noticing that my usage was for Facebook quite extensive. Maybe I wasn't on it all the time. I wasn't on my phone all the time. I do like to interact with people face to face. It's something that I rather do. But it was taking up the majority of my storage on my phone. So instead of calling people, instead of texting someone, I noticed that I was always on Facebook. Maybe not so much Instagram or Snapchat, but Facebook was my number one, and it was so much larger than anything else. So at that point, I was like, maybe I'm not on it all the time, but I am on it more than everything else, and that may not be the healthiest option for me. And then what advice do you give your students or athletes as to how they can use technology and social media appropriately? Social media is just that. You're being social. It's an outlet for you to use to interact with with other people, in the sense that, like, Facebook was created for people who were going to college and wanted to connect with friends, or high school friends who couldn't connect with each other every single day because now you're living out of state, you're going to school out of state. That was the sole purpose of it. Eventually, it started where you voiced your opinions, where you needed to be heard, your different political point of views, and in a sense, spam. So a lot of spam feeds. So my advice to students and athletes would be, use it because it's going to benefit you. Post something because it's happy. It's going to make somebody's day brighter. If you're going to a competition, you want to invite people over who are your friends, not anybody outside, not to the whole universe. Let your family and friends know, like, hey, I'm going to be competing at such and such university. Come cheer me on if you're around. That's healthy. That's appropriate. But going on there and being like, you know what? I'm a Republican and you're a Democrat and I don't like you and this is why, that is not appropriate, or vice versa. That is not something that needs to be said. Pointing out different ethnicities or different color races and saying why they're bad. Going to a different religion and saying why they're bad. That doesn't benefit you, nor does it benefit anybody else. So my advice to that population is, use it to benefit you. Use it to get to know people. For your cousins who live on the East Coast and you live on the West Coast, use it to get to know them a little bit better, because you probably see them every once in a while, maybe once a Christmas every 5 years. Connect with them. That's the whole purpose of this. But that's that. I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback. I hope you have a great day. Bye.